happy Monday. It's the Monday Night Live for Moon Babes. I'm super excited to be connecting with you guys. It's a little bit earlier than normal, I know, so hopefully you guys can catch the replay or the YouTube video. I'm excited to be talking to you guys today. We are going to talk about connecting with our angel team and how to receive those messages and how they come in. Those are the questions that a lot of you asked last time, and kind of what we are wanting to look at right now, because there's a lot of incoming messages. Especially, let's review the astrology of what's happened this week, right? So we are still in the energy of the last full moon, which was the full moon in Sagittarius. And hi Becky, hey guys, thanks for joining. The full moon of freedom, right? It was the first new full moon, not new moon. It was the first full moon after the planetary shift of Uranus into Taurus, right? Which is the ascension planet moving into everything that is the material system. So there's a lot that's shifting, there's a lot that's changing, there's a lot of values that are being reevaluated, and we are with this new moon. It's like I keep saying new moon, but it's a new cycle. This full moon signified a new cycle, new freedoms, and really just a new way for us to see ourselves. So we are going to, am I going to talk about astral projection today? I can talk about astral projection if you guys would like. Yes. I wanted to chat with you guys about, because I had a lot of questions about connecting with the angels. So, and then we can talk a little bit about that, and then we'll get into it. I'm reading what you guys are. It was the first moon in Scorpio before the full moon that opposed Uranus in over 74 years. Oh my gosh, the Leo King. Thank you for joining us. You're amazing. Thank you for the insights. That is absolutely right. So we're in a new cycle, right? And it's a big deal. There's a lot of transformation. There's a lot of change that is happening. And the most important thing, I always say, I'm not an astrologer, but I find my answers in astrology. I find the way that I feel, and then I look at what's going on. Like the other day, I was like, what in the hell is happening? And I couldn't really find the answers in the stars, so I went and looked at the sun. And then a lot of you saw that post where I said, oh, it's not about the moon, then I blamed the sun. It's not really about that, but it's about the fact that there was a huge solar wind and it created X flares. And when that happens, we have geomagnetic storms. Those storms actually affect our auric field, because we have an electromagnetic field around us. And some of us that are more sensitive, we really feel that. And it becomes dehydration, it becomes sleep patterns are kind of up and down. And we're just not, like, sometimes we're super irritable, sometimes we're not. I mean, you guys saw everything that I posted on that, and a lot of you felt the same way, and huge migraines. Oh my gosh. But it's over. The solar flares are over, so we're kind of readjusting, and we are getting into refiguring ourselves out. We're finding a new way that we want to be right now. So back to what we were saying. Yeah, that explains a lot, right, guys? A lot of you were saying that. Even when I posted it, everybody was like, oh my gosh. I literally go and check, you guys, when this stuff happens, go and check the NOAA website and see if there are flares happening. I check the astrology, I check what's happening with the planets. If it's not the planets and I can't hear my guides and my angels and I have a hard time tuning in, then generally something is going on with the sun. So yeah, there's a lot that's shifting, there's a lot that's moving, and it's super important that we learn how to trust our intuition and our guidance, and that we go within. So a lot of times you guys send me messages after these lives and ask me, okay, so how do I tune in, and how do I know if I'm talking to my angels? So first of all, your angels can talk to you anytime. Everybody has guides that are assigned to you. You are born with guides, and you're born with angels. We also have people that have passed on that watch over us. So Yes, and we were going to send, let's all set the intention. Thank you, Sweet Like That, for bringing that up. Let's all send the intention that all those of us that can, we send out the positive vibes of healing for everyone else that is hurting. As you're watching this, just set your intention and take a moment to send healing vibes out, because as we do this together, we help out a lot. I am finally feeling better from this weekend, and sometimes our body just needs to integrate. We need some R&R, we need some chill time, and our system just really needs to attune to the new frequencies that we're receiving. We're getting in new frequencies, we're getting in new upgrades, we're getting in new codes, and all this stuff, it's like it's downloading straight into our software and hardware. So we're getting these transmissions, right? Like in the Matrix, like, you know, all of a sudden your subconscious knows something, and it takes a lot for us to process it. So that's kind of what's going on. So, in any case, the important thing is that you learn how to trust yourself, because that's how you will always know, okay? It's not about looking outside. So all these things are helpful, but we have to start from the inside. And if there's like one thing that I can share with you guys really is to be able to do work to trust your instincts, to really know what's going on inside. You're tired all the time, I see you guys. So hold your comments for just a minute, or your questions. You can comment, but I'll go through at the end and ask you guys if you have questions. And I don't mean, you know, hold your comments and, you know, hold back. I love seeing that you guys are interacting with me, but definitely I'm going to answer everything at the end just so that this flows a little bit better. So we're going to talk about how do you tune in to your guides and angels. So take a moment, okay, and this is what I do. You do it with breath, okay, and then with intention and with your heart. That's how you do it. That's your vehicle, that's your spaceship for tuning into anything. So you have to have a space where you go in, and I don't care if it's your car. You need to just be you, where you can have some quiet time. You know, it can be lock yourself in the bathroom, pretend like you're taking a shower. Under the shower, a lot of things happen like that too. And so you have to have a moment where you can actually focus and you can go inward. If you close your eyes right now, you will notice that you find yourself being in different places, and your thoughts within minutes, they go, right? And they fly, and you find yourself being outside of your body, or, oh, I'm supposed to be listening to this, but really I'm thinking about this over here. So see if you can find yourself in your heart. Keep bringing yourself back to your heart, back to your heart, back to your heart. When you can find yourself being in your heart, and you can do this with your breath, then you're in, then you're within. You know, a lot of people out there's a lot of new age stuff, new earth, and all of that, you know, it's about the universe inside of you, and, you know, as within, so without, and you already have all the answers. What does that all mean? This is what it means. It means tune in, find that place inside. We're so used to looking for impulses from the outside in, but really we need to just emit our own frequency inside out. Find ourselves, go into our heart, and then work this way. So from inside to outside. So when you're there, when you're in that place, you tune in, you set an intention, and ask for angels and guides of the highest truth and light. And I always put that disclaimer on there. I know somebody told me Gabby Bernstein says guides of the highest truth and compassion. So maybe you like that better. But whatever it is, set the intention that it's of the highest order, right? So it's well, you want to make sure that you're working with not just anyone. Let's put it that way, because there's a lot of discarnate beings out there, but you want to make sure that you're talking to the guys that are of the light. Yeah. Alone time. You're trying to have alone time because your guides and your angels are always in the bathroom. Yeah. So it's like never alone. Oh, you tried having alone time in the bathroom. Maybe the car. You have to find a little bit of time, because this is the easiest way. And you know what happens for me is I either do it early in the morning before everybody wakes up in the house, or late at night. And I know it's really weird, and a lot of the you know, the masters and the gurus, they say that the morning hours are really amazing. For me, it's whenever I can find the time and when the world is quiet. So when everybody's asleep in my house, then I can actually take the time and I can hear things. So it's whenever it works for you. Find a time when everybody's sleeping. So, and then you tune in. So you go within, you find your heart, you slow down, and you slow down with your breath. And when you find your heart, you set an intention to go with, hey guys, thanks for joining. You go and set an intention to tune into your guides of the highest truth and light. And I add that are serving the divine plan. You can adjust that, but the intention is to connect to the light, right? And then when you're there, imagine that your mind is blank. Imagine that you are watching a whiteboard right in front of you. Some of you may receive messages in the forms of letters, in the forms of numbers, in the forms of, full words will appear on your whiteboard, or you will have pictures. And so it just really depends on the way that you're receiving them and the way that you communicate. Sometimes if it's not on the board, then you will hear things, and sometimes you'll hear like your ears will ring or they will become warm. And so we have to remember that this is, in our universe, this is a free will universe. Our planet is under the law of free will, which means that our angels can't really interfere or do things unless they are meant to help. But if we need something from them, we want to give them permission to help or permission to speak. So you can say, angels, I give you permission to speak in a frequency that I understand. Because that's helpful, because you have to, we are not on the same frequency. Obviously, we don't operate on the same one. That's a lot of times when you ask your angels or guides or people that have passed on for anything that has to do with time frames, they are not good with that. They're not good with giving references of time because they live in a different dimension, and time doesn't work the same. And so it's kind of hard for them to grasp, just as much as it's hard for us to grasp the concept of no time and everything going in a circle, right? Becky, thank you. You're so sweet. Becky says, this is awesome. I love you so much. So I'm trying to be helpful. I want everybody to discover these things that I know. So this is kind of what you want to tune in. So depending on if it's your ears, okay? Now, the next thing is pay attention if you feel pressure right here. This is your third eye activating, which means you're going to start seeing things. And a lot of us are feeling this. We're getting third eye headaches like galore right now with all of the frequency shifts that are happening. And you may be just keep your eyes closed. If you feel the pressure right here, keep your eyes closed. That's always helpful when you're going within. And then look, close your eyes and look, okay? Whatever it is that's going on in front of you, just imagine seeing it with your eyes closed and then scan it. Imagine having a scanner with your third eye and see if you can feel. Because you have imagine having invisible tentacles of light where you can just kind of scan and see what's going on. So that's helpful. And then you'll be able to tell a lot of the times how many people are around you that way. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. And about the astral projection, somebody was asking about that. So if you guys have questions, I wanted to just kind of get that out for you guys. And then if you have questions, just ask right now and I'll talk a little bit about astral projection. So with astral projection, you want to make sure that you start safe. First things first, always safety. So if you're going to venture out there with astral projection, make sure that you have a guide or that you are going, and I'm going to sound sci-fi, but I'm going to go there, that you are cloaking your frequency. What happens is that remove yourself and imagine that you're seeing the planet, right, from a starship, let's say, or from a satellite view. So what you see all of a sudden is somebody's bright light that just kind of takes off in consciousness and goes, boo, right? It's like instead of shooting stars, we're going the other direction. It's like a star that goes upwards. And so you see this light that goes up and shoots up. Well, if there is somebody that's after the light, like moths to a flame, sometimes, there's good guys and the bad guys. They're everywhere. This happens, and there's people that are after the light because they don't have light of their own and they're not in a body, and so they can just leech onto you. And yes, that's a sound effect. Anyways, so So you want to make sure that you have that intention around you, that you're protected. Ask for protection. Call on Archangel Michael, call on Archangel Metatron, call on whoever you're comfortable with, but make sure that you have someone. And it may not even be an angel. Maybe you're working with the star beings, okay? But whoever you're working with, make sure that you have that knowingness that you're protected. And then you can start going. So, and then you can go places and you can kind of start creating your own map, and you'll kind of feel it as you go up out of your body. You start to feel it, and you start to feel the different frequency, and it's almost like there's layers. Then when you get really good, you'll be able to, and it just means practice, you'll be able to actually lock onto a specific frequency and go exactly to a particular place, and then you can look around that place. So it gets really detailed the more you do it. What kind of positive things you could help us with dealing with the shadow self? Dealing with the shadow self right now, it's a lot of releasing, and it's a lot of things that are needing to really, when those things come up, embrace them. Embrace them, know that it's a part of us, and really just allow yourself, if you're having, if you feel like crying, cry it. Don't resist it. If you're having these feelings and these emotions, observe the fact that you are feeling that way. It doesn't mean that you're bad because you're having a bad day. It doesn't make you bad and wrong to have, whatever negative feelings are coming up. You're having an experience. We're here to have an experience. So don't judge yourself for having that shadow side. A lot of us get stuck in that because then we have all these judgments and like, oh my gosh, why is this happening again? And then I'm attracting this, and then judging, and then it keeps on perpetuating. So remember to observe your journey, to observe what you're going through, and then just kind of look at it and say, okay, you know what? I'm ready to let this go. I really don't want this as part of my consciousness. I don't want it in my energy field. I don't want to manifest this in my life anymore. And meditating. You guys know this is what I teach. It's meditation. That allows us to change things from a subconscious and cellular level. Because a lot of times belief systems and things that come up from the shadow side really are things that it's almost like they're written in the chakras, they're recorded in the chakras, and then they play back for us. So it's our experiences from when we're younger that kind of just, you're welcome, absolutely, that kind of just keep replaying. So we want to be conscious of them. We don't want to just say, oh, whatever, that just kind of happened. Oh, you know what, that sucked, that day sucked, and then put it aside. It's like process through it, deal with it, let it go, mourn it, cry about it, just go through it and then let it go and be free on the other side of it. And a lot of times that's really what it takes. So, okay, I'm going to leave you guys with a card because a card wanted to come up today, and it's a reminder to see only love. How beautiful is that? And it says, look past the seeming errors, mistakes, and misunderstandings, and see only the love within each person, including yourself. Your resolute focus upon the love that underlies every situation brings about healing in undreamed of ways. So it brings about the healing in ways that we don't even dream of. So focus on the love, seeing the love in others. Understand that when people are coming across in a way that we don't like, it's just a misuse of love expression. And when we can start to see that and see the love through the people, then miracles happen. So also, you guys, I have to share this because this was so fun. I went on TV today. That's why I have like all this crazy makeup on. I don't know if you can still see it. Probably wore out, but absolutely, you're welcome, guys. I'm glad to be helpful. So I went on TV today to talk about my 7-day chakra detox program and the benefits of meditation and of healthy habits. So if you haven't started your own meditation practice, start 1 minute per day. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. If you're in Utah, check out the Fox 13 The Place online. They have the episodes recording, and that was a lot of fun. And we gave a couple of meditation tips and things that you can literally do in 1 minute to shift your energy and to find your focus. I love Kundalini meditation. That's what I teach because it's effective, and literally you can shift your mood in 1 to 3 minutes. It's that powerful. But whatever it is that you choose to do, stick with it. That's the important part. Practice it every day. That's what it's called, a spiritual practice. And of course, I'd love to have you all join the 7-day chakra detox. That's when we go through each chakra and we rewrite our story. We cleanse through everything that needs to go, and we do that detoxing, not just emotionally, but also physically. So we work with healthy and highly vibrating foods that therefore fuel our ability to be able to connect with spirit. So if you're interested, check out the link in my bio. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you next week. Mwah! Thanks all for joining. Absolutely. Bye. Thank you guys. I see all of you. Mwah, mwah. Much love.